Down syndrome is a genetic disorder that is caused by having an extra copy of chromosome 21 in your DNA. This makes you have 23 pairs and one extra chromosome, instead of 23 pairs in a normal human. Hence, it has another name, trisomy 21. A chromosome is a long DNA chain that carries all of our genes and inherited traits. In humans, Down syndrome can be typified by slowed growth, intellectual challenges of varying degrees, and features such as crossed eyes. This genetic disorder was discovered in 1959 in humans by John Langdon Down. But can it happen in animals, provided their genome is different from ours? This video will give you the answer to this question and debunk some myths on the internet as well. Welcome to Give a Fact, and you are watching facts about Down syndrome in animals. If you like this kind of video, be sure to subscribe for more great content, or tell us what you want to learn more about in the comment section below. Now let's get straight to the video, shall we? 1. There have been 2 cases of chimps with a genetic condition similar to Down syndrome. The latest case was in 2017. A captive-born 24-year-old female named Kanako was found to have a third copy of chromosome 22, or trisomy 22, in a chromosome analysis for her heart defect. She has been blind since the age of 7, following cataracts that first appeared when she was only 1 year old. She also has crossed eyes, thinning corneas, congenital heart disease, and underdeveloped teeth. Despite these genetic conditions, she's lived a surprisingly long time. The only such prior case in the species was observed in 1969 in a chimp that did not live to be 2 years old. 2. Kenny the tiger was actually inbred. This rare white tiger, Kenny, cruelly dubbed the ugliest big cat in the world, was bred through incest by an animal trafficker who wanted to make a small fortune. However, he was one of the most notorious animals on the internet claimed to have Down syndrome. In reality, Kenny had genetic facial deformities resulting from inbreeding, not chromosome mutations. White tigers are actually very rare in the wild. They are so beautiful that zoos and fur sellers alike want to keep them for their popularity. This unfortunately gives rise to aggressive breeding programs that rely on inbreeding to keep producing tigers with white fur. Thankfully, these breeding methods that focus on increasing the physical expression of single rare alleles have been denounced by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums in 2011. Despite the sad truth about Kenny having long since been known, many still mistakenly believe he had Down syndrome. One online video about Kenny and his supposed Down syndrome mocking this condition has more than 1.2 million views. 3. Otto the kitten didn't have Down syndrome as the media claimed. Little Otto the kitten went viral in Turkey after a vet diagnosed him with Down syndrome. According to Otto's veterinarian, the shape of the cat's face and the structure of his forehead all point to a genetic disorder. However, most feline experts agree that Down syndrome does not exist in cats, though they could suffer from other genetic conditions, which are very similar. Down syndrome is the copy of the 21st chromosome in humans. Cats only have 19 chromosomes, so they technically cannot have Down syndrome, but they can have a genetic mutation. Sadly, at just 2.5 months, Otto started spasming uncontrollably and was rushed to the hospital and taken into intensive care. Unfortunately, the vets could not save him, and he passed away from heart failure. 4. Lil Bub and Monty the cats had genetic mutations, but not Down syndrome. Lil Bub gained internet popularity in November 2011 when her photos were posted on Tumblr and later Reddit. Her stardom wasn't only limited to the internet. She went on to make various media appearances including on The Today Show, The View, and her very own documentary appearance on Lil Bub and Friends. Though affected by various genetic mutations, including feline dwarfism, Lil Bub quickly found her way into the hearts of the public, amassing more than 3 million likes on her Facebook page. Unfortunately, Lil Bub passed away on December 1st, 2019. Her owner, Mike Bradavsky, stated that she was facing an aggressive bone infection at the time of her death. Monty is another famous internet cat claimed by publications to have Down syndrome. According to Monty's official website, run by his owners Michael Bjorn and Michaela Klein, Monty was adopted from an animal shelter when he was just 3 years old and suffers from a chromosome abnormality, causing a sunken nasal bridge. The beloved Monty has gained more than 400,000 followers on Facebook. 5. There was no recording of mice having Down syndrome in the wild. Researchers have found that mice can experience chromosomal defects. they can develop an additional chromosome 16 that creates symptoms similar to Down syndrome. However, it is almost never seen in wild mouse populations, since babies with this defect typically die before they are born. Researchers only know of the possibility because they genetically created the conditions in laboratory mice to study them. 6. If a giraffe is short, it doesn't mean that it has Down syndrome. While commonly known as the animal with the longest legs, it can be surprising to see a dwarf giraffe, but they do exist. However, these animals don't have Down syndrome. They have a genetic disorder called skeletal dysplasia that leads to abnormally shaped bones in their spine, arms, legs, and head. Another condition that can occur in giraffes is similar to birth asphyxia, where the baby has oxygen cut off and doesn't develop fully. For example, Julius the giraffe born at the Maryland Zoo had a head that leaned to the right because of a damaged brain and nerve damage that led to a crippled tongue. 7. Can dogs have Down syndrome if they have a large tongue? Having a large tongue is a common symptom of Down syndrome, and also a common symptom of macroglossia that can occur in dogs. Macroglossia is typically the result of enlarged cells or muscle tension that leads to dogs having abnormally large tongues that constantly hang out of their mouths. Their tongues can lead to breathing difficulties and reduced range of motion. Although it can be easy to assume a dog with macroglossia has Down syndrome, the condition usually occurs for other reasons. Examples include an allergic reaction or exposure to diseases, such as hypothyroidism. 8. Animals don't have Down syndrome, but they do have genetic defects. Because the genetic makeup of animals is too different from that of humans, it's almost impossible to say that duplication of chromosomes would have the same effect on an animal that it does on a human. Many animals don't actually have chromosome 21. Cats only have 19 pairs of chromosomes, for example. That said, there are animals which share certain genetic information with specific genetic sequences. In fact, gorillas have a DNA sequence that is similar to that of humans by about 97 to 98%. Since animals have genetic sequences, they also have ordered chromosomes, so they can incur chromosomal problems similar to that of Down syndrome. These can translate into cognitive and physiological difficulties, as well as anatomical changes, which change the animal's physical characteristics. This happens, for example, in laboratory mice, some of which have been found to have a trisomy in chromosome 16. However, even if animals can suffer genetic alterations and some chromosome trisomies, they are not the same as Down syndrome, which is a uniquely human disease caused by the trisomy of chromosome 21. The animals you see on social media do have various chromosome disorders, hormone deficiencies, inbreeding, and other conditions that show physical traits similar to those associated with Down syndrome. There are several heartwarming cases where animals with chromosomes and other disorders get adopted, and this is crucial to helping them get the extra care they need. So, are there animals with Down syndrome? The answer is no, because Down syndrome is specific to humans. Either way, whether chimp or kitten or tiger, the animals with Down syndrome you might find on the internet are not what online publishers claim them to be. And that is a wrap. What did you learn from this video? Let us know in the comment section below. We hope that our educational videos will help spread the knowledge so everyone can protect our world and biodiversity together. Please like and subscribe to our channel if you find our videos useful and want us to make more videos. Until next time, give a fact.